Well, hi there. So this is our last lesson where we're going to learn about perfect competition. And in this one, we're going to learn about why is it considered normal for firms in perfect competition to earn zero economic profit. And as we'll find, firms will return to that normal zero economic profit level as a result of firms entering the market or firms exiting the market. So let's get started. Okay, so our last little lecture about perfect competition answers the question, why is zero considered normal? And how is it that these markets would return to long-run equilibrium? Why is this long-run equilibrium even a thing? And the short version in kind of words is this. In long-run equilibrium, we know that price is equal to the ATC, right? They earn zero economic profit. And so that's considered normal. We can call it normal profit. But if there are changes in price, we know that that leads to profit or loss. So for example, if there is profit, that's going to actually then lead new firms to open because there's economic profit. That's signaling to the market that there are opportunities to be made here. As new firms are going to open, there's going to be more supply, which will actually lower the prices, reduce the amount of profit, and slow down firm entry. And then that process of firms entering with more supply, lowering the prices, is going to continue until the market returns to an equilibrium with zero economic profit. So again, if there's lots and lots of profit, that would be because price is greater than ATC, right? That's the initial condition. And then this more supply would cause prices to lower, once again, causing the market to return back to an equilibrium. If there's firms earning losses, we know that the price is less than the ATC. And that's going to cause some firms to exit. If all the firms are identical, it's a random walk, a statistical, like just bloop, whoever randomly exits. But we would often say that firms with higher costs would be the ones to exit first in the real world, right? If your company has higher costs, then you're going to incur more losses than the next guy. So you'd be the first one to leave the market. That would leave less supply in the market for the given product and would actually cause the prices to go up. As a result of that, the prices going up leads to less losses, and then there's fewer and fewer firms that start leaving. These lower and lower amounts of losses are still going to result, if there's any loss at all, there's going to be resulting in firms exiting. And that process will continue until the market goes back up, the price goes back up to that normal economic profit. So that's in words what we're going to actually show here in the next two series of graphs. Now, what we're going to start with this one is it in a loss, and that is tricky. We haven't drawn that yet, and so kind of take it slow here with me as we talk through how we would actually graph something in a loss. So we have demand, but before I actually put the supply curve on here, I want to think about this, right? I don't want to just jump right in and throw a supply curve on there. If you did that, that's fine. You can still do this, but I'm trying to give you pro tips and advice. We know the firms are earning losses, which means that means the price is too low for the good. And so I'm going to actually put my supply curve initially right here. I know that seems like, why would you do that? Well, it's for a good reason. It's going to make this graph easier to draw. So we have our initial price that the firm is charging, P sub F, and we have our price in the market and our quantity in the market. And this is going to be our Mr. DARP. He's going to be over here, Mr. D, and we're going to put our marginal cost curve here. And then right here in the middle, we're going to put our ATC. Now, some kids are going to say, where's your AVC gloss? And I'll say, don't worry about the AVC, it's fine. Because for our purposes on this one, if we're just showing a loss, we don't really need to actually graph that AVC. We know that this firm is operating, and so I'm not terribly worried about it at this point. Now, we could shade if you wanted to, and it's maybe helpful to use your mind's eye and shade in your mind's eye that's where that loss rectangle would be, right? Kind of identifying that in your head, but that's not what we're working on for this one. As a result of the losses that this firm and all the other firms in the market are earning, it's going to cause there to be a decrease in the supply. And I'm marking here the bottom of my ATC. I'm going to mark that right here because I know that I'm going to want my price to go up to that level. So then I'm going to walk over here and I'm going to say, boom, whoops, I almost got it. Pick a bigger dot, S sub 1. So what I'm showing is that firms are exiting the market. If there's fewer sellers, then there's less supply. That's going to cause the price to rise up to P sub 1 and the quantity to fall in this market to Q sub 1. And we're going to extend that over to this graph and say here, oh man, I nailed it. Did you see that? That was awesome. MR1 equals demand 1. And now at this level, the firm is producing actually more units of output. They're not earning a loss anymore because at Q sub 1, price equals ATC, right? So we can actually say at Q sub 1, price equals ATC. So that means they're earning zero economic profit. Now, students sometimes wonder, like, well, how could this be that in the market there's fewer transactions, but this firm saw more transactions? Well, it's because this firm survived. there were much fewer sellers. So overall, in the whole market, there was fewer transactions. But from the perspective of the firm, the restaurant next door or the producer next door, they closed. So all the customers that used to go to the store next door are coming into your shop, into your firm. And so from your perspective, you actually see more customers, and that's what's kind of causing this firm to increase its production along that marginal cost curve back up to a break-even point. Excuse me. Now, let's take a look at the opposite scenario where the firms are earning profits and firms will enter. So again, kind of do this slowly with me. It's a little bit tricky. If you jump right in, you might make it a little bit harder on yourself, but it's okay. Sometimes we're doing it on hard mode, right? So we have in this one, the firms are earning a profit. That's going to mean that the price is high. Its price is above the average total cost. And so I'm going to put the supply curve up here. And that's going to cause us to have a relatively high price and a low market quantity. We're going to extend that price since this firm is a price taker, P sub F. And we know that that's our Mr. D. And then we're going to put our marginal cost. And then here in the middle, we're going to put our ATC. So again, this is a little easier if rather than moving your ATC around, if you actually just kind of start from a certain position. I find that much easier, me personally, right? Now, as a result of this firm earning profits, which we know they're going to earn profits because MR equals MC occurs here at QF, and that's above the ATC, right? So once again, it's helpful if you kind of envision where is that profit rectangle going to be? And it would be right here, right? I'm not going to shade it because I think it would make it a little bit messy, but you can see it if you use your mind's eye and you're kind of visioning it. You can see how this one would go from this corner over to the ATC and then down to the price. And on this one, we're saying from the price down to this corner and over to our ATC. So we're always just comparing price and ATC when we're doing profits and losses. Now, in this, as a result of there being profits, there's going to be firms that are going to enter. And I'm going to make a little hash mark because I know that I'm going to move my Mr. DARP down to this level. And that's going to occur right about here. Right about here. So we'll go ahead and draw our new supply curve. Firms would continue to enter in response to that profitability, driving down prices and increasing the quantity that's produced. And if we're talking about what's happening for this firm, well, this firm is going to actually see their price go down and they're going to sell fewer units. So from the firm's perspective, the price fell and they sold fewer. That's because they have more competitors now in the larger market. And so each individual firm is going to sell less. That price will continue to fall. And as it falls, the firm earns less profit until finally it gets to price equals ATC, where all firms are breaking even, and then firm entry would cease. So hopefully this helped you understanding how you would go from loss and profit into a long run equilibrium. I'll see you next time.